I've been playing World of Warcraft for nearly 20 years and it has given me some of my most memorable gaming moments. And even though nowadays I don't get to raid anymore, I still enjoy sitting down for some casual play most days with this game. But with a little bit of tinkering, I figured out how I can play World of Warcraft on my mobile phone. So today I'm going to show you how to set this up. Now, of course, because WoW hasn't been designed for phones, there are definitely some challenges that we are going to have to overcome. The main one being the interface itself. It just isn't best suited for a screen as small as this. Fortunately, when the current expansion, Dragonflight, was released, it brought with it some interface changes which easily allow us to make adjustments that are going to go a long way here. Now, of course, we can't simply install World of Warcraft on our mobile phone, so we are going to have to keep it installed on our computer and then stream it over to our phone when we want to play. That said, with this setup, you will be able to play World of Warcraft anywhere in the world on your phone, so long as it has a decent internet connection. So I'm going to be demonstrating this using my Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, but I'm also going to be giving you a number of options for the setup that you may want to use just to make your playing experience a little more fulfilling. In order to actually stream WoW to a phone, we're going to need to use some streaming software. For me, I'm just going to stick with the tried and tested Steam by Valve. And for this, we just need to make sure we have the Steam Link app on our phone, which is available on Android and iOS, and to make sure that we have Steam itself downloaded on our host computer. If outside of WoW you're not a big gamer and don't have Steam, don't worry, you can download it for free and set up an account for free as well. So in terms of the software, outside of your WoW subscription, there is no cost whatsoever involved in this setup, and we can use it for streaming both modern WoW and classic WoW too. So first things first, the Steam Link app is an official Valve app. It's completely free of charge, so let's go ahead and get that downloaded. That's obviously going to be the first thing that we need to do here. So we are ready now for first time setup here. Okay, so a couple of additional steps we are going to need to do just for this first time setup. Once we've done this, it's going to be a lot easier to get into actually playing WoW. So let's click get started. And we need to scan for our computer. And from the point of view of our computer, we just need to make sure that Steam itself is open here. And of course, this needs to be on our host PC. So the PC we are happy to be streaming from to our phone. So now let's just tap rescan. And it has found the computer here, which is called Simon PC. So let's select that. And it's going to give us this pin. This will be a different pin for you, but in my case, it is 6055. And you can see it has automatically popped up with the authorized device dialog here on my computer on Steam. So I'm going to go ahead and type in that pin. Let's tap confirm for that. And now it is going to test the network, see what sort of speeds we're getting. Of course, this whole setup does involve having a pretty good connection either to your home network, or if you are out and about, then a good internet connection. Okay, so in our case, the test was happy, it was complete. So let's go ahead and tap OK. And there we go. That is the first time setup. So we can now hit start playing and have access to our full Steam library here. But of course, World of Warcraft is not a Steam game. And yes, Steam has loaded absolutely fine. Technically, we are actually good to start playing these games now. And I wouldn't really want to use touchscreen myself, but you don't technically need a keyboard or controller. However, I have all of those options depending on the game I'm going to play. But for today, it's going to be World of Warcraft, so let's move on with the next step. And the next step is to get WoW added into Steam. Now, this is actually really easy. You will need to make sure that you have downloaded, obviously, Battle.net and installed World of Warcraft. Whether you are doing the retail version or WoW Classic, either will work with this method absolutely fine. And just make sure that you have access to the location where World of Warcraft is installed. In my case, the default location, which is the C drive, program files, x86, and then World of Warcraft. We can see then we have different folders depending on which type or which version of the game we want to play. For me, it's going to be retail, so it's the retail folder that I'm interested in. But if you wanted to set up classic with this method, then the classic folder would be what you care about. So let's go ahead and open the retail folder here. And I'm just going to go and copy that address up here with Control and C. We're going to need that. Now, in Steam here on my PC, we have the Add a Game option in the bottom left corner. if I select that and choose add a non-Steam game, once this has loaded, we're going to select browse. And from here, well, there we go. I was going to copy and paste the addressing, but because I've already tested this out, it's already there. We are then in the WoW retail folder, because I'm playing retail again. We want to select the application file. In my case, the wow.exe file. And we select open. This will then add WoW to the list. So let's choose the add selected programs. And then on our list here, right at the bottom, on our Steam games, we have WoW. So now we can go ahead and select play. One thing to note, because we are now opening World of Warcraft outside of Battle.net, you will need to log into your account here, okay, on the actual login page to WoW rather than through Battle.net. But as you can see, WoW is working absolutely fine. The only thing I want to mention at this point is on your audio settings, make sure that you have either Steam streaming selected or system default selected. Okay, if you don't have one of those options selected, if you have another set of speakers or headphones, then you are not going to get audio on your phone when playing WoW. So technically now, that is everything we actually need to do as far as setup is concerned. As long as we have our host computer turned on with Steam installed, and we have Steam Link set up now with the first time setup complete, we can go ahead and start playing. Now, of course, you do require a bit of a decent internet connection wherever you are in the world. It says here slow connection, but I don't believe that, so I'm going to go ahead and start playing. And once Steam has opened, we can actually access WoW because we added it to our Steam list of games. You'll notice also that I don't even have a controller set up, and that's because technically you can absolutely use touch controls here to play WoW or any other game in your Steam library. Now, I wouldn't really want to use touch controls, but the option's there if you don't have anything else at your fingertips. And you can simply tap the keyboard icon up here in order to bring up the keyboard, so if you need to type in your username or password, you can do that directly from your phone. And here we are at the character select screen, ready to jump in. But of course, I'm not going to do that right now because I want to make sure that we can play a little bit more comfortably. And the first thing we're going to want to do is install the console port add-on. And if you want to use a controller, I do recommend either the PS5 DualSense or an Xbox controller, as these are baked into the support for the console port add-on. But any Bluetooth controller can pretty much be mapped as long as it's compatible with Steam. Installing console port is pretty simple enough. All you need to do is head over to wowinterface.com and grab the download link here. I will leave a direct link to it down in the description of the video if it helps. And once you've downloaded this, it will be given to you as a zip file right here. And you just need to extract the folders from within the zip file directly into your add-ons interface in the World of Warcraft installation folder. And for me, that's the C drive, program files x86, World of Warcraft, retail, interface, add-ons. As you can see, there are the folders that I have extracted just here in that specific add-ons folder. And then just make sure in the World of Warcraft game client that you have the console port add-on enabled. Now, of course, you can go ahead and remap the controls as you see fit, and I've just left them as the defaults for the purpose of this video. What I will say, it does take a little bit of getting used to playing World of Warcraft with a controller, but on the flip side, people have completed the highest levels of Mythic tier difficulty by using this add-on, so it is absolutely possible to do so. Now, it does, as I say, take a little bit of practice, but once you actually start using a controller, it does begin to feel natural. So stick with it, and maybe that's the method that will work for you. With the console port add-on installed, we just need to connect our Bluetooth controller to our device, in my case, my Samsung phone. So all I need to do for this is hold down on my DualSense controller the share button, I believe this is, and the home button for a few seconds until the LED strip starts to blink. There we go. I don't know if you can see that on camera because I've got my lighting set up, but it is blinking. And once that's done, we should, if we tap scan here, get the DualSense controller to pop up. There it is, it actually pops up down the bottom. So let's just tap the DualSense wireless controller, click pair. So now let's go ahead and open WoW once more. Now, when you need to use the keyboard in order to type in username or password when you are using the controller, then the way you do this with Steam Link is to push the back button and the what is used as the Steam button at the same time. In my case, the Steam button is the home button on the DualSense controller. So if I hold those down, then it will bring up this menu here. Right at the bottom there, you can see that there is the option to show the virtual keyboard. I can now use the controller to type in my username or password. And in order to actually log into the world with your character, just use your touchscreen to select Enter World. And now that we have logged in, the controller add-on will kick in and we can, use our controller now to control our character. The only next problem, or the next problem I should say, is the fact that the interface can be a little bit small. So we need to make some changes there. Again, only need to do this one time really. I'm going to head back over to the computer in order to do that. But effectively, if we right click on our portrait, character portrait, and select edit mode, then we can access a whole number of interface options that have been made available for the Dragonflight expansion. Just makes things a whole lot easier. We can enlarge parts of the interface. In fact, most parts of the interface can be enlarged. We can move them around on the screen to where they are going to be more comfortable for us. And we can even change the settings of the text to make that larger or more vibrant for the chat dialog boxes. Honestly, you can just go ham here and really get this set up how you want, depending on the device you are going to be playing on. And what's great is every time you've made changes to the interface, you can save those presets. So then if you want to go and play WoW on your computer again, and you don't want to be using the interface you set up for your mobile, you don't need to. You can just reload your original preset and the interface is back to how you want it for your PC. So some great additions there that Blizzard have included for us, and it just makes this whole process far more convenient and realistic, to be honest with you. Congratulations, you have World of Warcraft running on your phone with a controller. But a couple of things I want to stress. First off, no matter how hard you try, for some people, using a controller to play WoW just isn't the answer. But don't fret, because for most phones, you can still connect other devices. A generic Bluetooth mouse such as this one, and a Bluetooth keyboard such as this one from Logitech. Logitech have not sponsored this video, but this may be the solution to what you need. Honestly, I use this keyboard all the time with my phone, and I find it absolutely fantastic. The battery life lasts and lasts and lasts, and this thing is so portable, I can pretty much take it with me anywhere. Again, not sponsored, but I will leave a link to this keyboard down in the description, since I know it works well, and you can connect this either to iOS or Android devices, or just computers if you want to use it for other purposes. But you know what? If you love the idea of being able to take World of Warcraft with you, but don't particularly relish the idea of playing it on this small screen, even with those interface adjustments that I showed you, then you may want to check out something like this. This is a portable monitor, 1080p display, and this just plugs directly into my phone. And yeah, I can pretty much play WoW on the big screen whenever I want to take this with me. Because this is a portable monitor, it's flat, really easy to carry around. If I'm perhaps staying somewhere overnight, I can take this with me, and very easy to plug in. The only thing is, a monitor such as this is going to need to be connected into a power port, a USB power port, but still an external power source. The good thing is that when you hook this up to your phone will actually charge as well as the monitor getting power through that single connection into the wall. But finally, what if you want to take this setup to, for example, a hotel where you know there is going to be a television of some kind in your room? Can you make the most of that and stream WoW to that TV using this setup? You absolutely can. That's where a device such as this Anchor USB hub will come in handy. Again, not sponsored, but I will drop a link to this down in the description because I know this works well. And the way this works is really easy. You have the USB connection here, plug this into your phone, and then on the hub itself, we have a number of ports actually. On this side, we have the HDMI port. That's what will be used to connect to the television. And also then we have the USB port here, which will connect to the wall for power. That will keep your phone nicely charged. On the other side, there are a couple of Type A USB ports. That's if you want to connect any additional accessories, such as a wired keyboard or mouse. But one of the great things about this particular hub, and the reason I like this one, it actually has a LAN port connection on the end. So if the place you are staying has LAN access, you won't even need to rely on Wi-Fi, so you'll get a good solid connection for this. So finally folks, have you got World of Warcraft running on your phone? If you have, please do share your success, or perhaps not so much success depending on your situation, down in the comments. And if you have any questions, including any technical enquiries, then please feel free to share those, and I'm sure either myself or others will be glad to help if we are able. But thank you again for stopping by, checking out this video. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time, maybe in WoW.